A report couldn't be more fabulous. An exploration group has distinguished 7 secretive stars in the immensity of space that are associated with being extraterrestrial uberstructures. Exhaustively, the heavenly bodies draw attention with mystifying intensity radiation, and it's conceivable that a far-off development is capturing its starlight with monstrous Dyson circles. If this stunning presumption harmonizes with reality, we would at last have found obvious proof of the presence of our extraterrestrial neighbors and simultaneously understand that they are tremendously better than us technologically. Notwithstanding this, many inquiries remain unanswered. Another review concludes that we are managing less with profoundly created outsiders, but rather with enormous wieners, and humanity is on the ascendant after all. Well, in any event, that applies to the so-called Kardashev scale, which demonstrates how far progress is developed in terms of its energy utilization. Presented in 1964 by the renowned cosmologist Nikolai Kardashev, the corresponding scale is separated into 3 degrees of improvement. However, we have not yet even arrived at the first level. Truth be told, a Type 1 civilization is only considered as such when it has figured out how to harness all the power available on its planet. The worth of our own species, on the other hand, is still estimated at 0.72. However, at least we are moving in the right direction. After all, in the last century, it was just 0.58. In spite of this, we Earthlings still have far to go before we reach the Type 1 mark. There could already be civilizations out there that have long since reached and passed this achievement, accomplishing technological marvels that we can't even truly hope for at present. While a Type 2 development can utilize the total force of its host star, a Type 3 development even achieves the feat of harnessing the total force of its entire galaxy. But how is that even conceivable? How could an extraterrestrial society even figure out how to turn its cosmic environment into a massive power plant? Well, for instance, with a Dyson circle. While the photovoltaic industry is booming like never before these days, we shouldn't forget that as early as 1960, a certain Freeman Dyson was already working on moving the concept of light energy transformation to a much larger degree. Published in the journal Science, the physicist explained that an advanced alien civilization would likely take this basic idea to an unprecedented level, preparing enormous pieces of their parent star with photovoltaic panels circling in space. Eventually, however, Dyson's aim in devising the circle that bears his name was not to outline a precise blueprint of this superstructure, but rather to remind us that in the quest for indications of extraterrestrial life, we shouldn't only focus on capturing radio transmissions, but also on detecting the infrared radiation that would go hand in hand with such a structure. According to the law of conservation of energy, the tapped starlight would have to be released again after it has been used by a civilization. While the Dyson circle heats up during operation due to starlight, it subsequently also emits heat radiation that we could detect from Earth, or at least that's the theory. Even today, over 60 years after Dyson first shared his concept with the world, it has not advanced beyond the status of an intriguing idea. This is mainly because we have not yet found any convincing evidence of such obvious infrared signatures, or have we? Well, who knows? An international team of experts has now reached the conclusion that the corresponding traces may actually have been uncovered a long time ago. We just haven't been able to interpret them correctly yet. To clarify whether a progressive development is hidden in the current data sets, experts from Sweden, India, Great Britain, and the USA have committed themselves to the task of fully analyzing the infrared data of telescopes such as Gaia DR3. Toward the end of this examination project, named HOS, it was observed that most of the 5 million stars examined do not show any remarkable attributes. However, there are indeed 7 stars out there that exhibit odd behavior. While the corresponding results appeared in the journal Monthly Notices of the Royal Astronomical Society, the study authors based their work on the assumption that space is not only brimming with completed Dyson circles, but also with those still under construction, which would only partially absorb starlight. In this regard, the paper states that such a structure would generate waste heat as radiation in the mid-infrared range, which, in addition to its effective temperature, would also depend on the progress of the extraterrestrial development project. However, it's evident that we can accurately identify their radiation if we can distinguish it from radiation with a purely natural origin. Still, The trail of the supposed Dyson circle signature could quickly lead back to conventional nebulae, dust circles, or the galaxy behind them. Of course, the global researchers were also aware of this astronomical risk of confusion, which is why they developed a special pipeline in advance, focusing on identifying objects with a peculiar infrared excess, for which there is no known natural source. The experts then filtered the 5 million stars through this generalized filter and were astonished to find that 7 of them did not pass through. The main point, however, is that these radiantly bright BRIE secrets also defy all natural scientific patterns. Although no clear disturbing factors or markers have been found in their domain that would indicate an undeniable mid-infrared origin, the stars all appear to be clear mid-infrared radiators of remarkable intensity. Further scrutiny revealed that 3 of the 7 stars are likely affected by sausages, not alien hot dog stands, but peculiar cosmic phenomena known as dust-obscured galaxies, dogs. These unique cosmic associations are characterized by their extraordinary quasars. The central black holes residing there produce immense amounts of radiation, heating the surrounding dust and gas structures, and thus emitting intense infrared light. In conclusion, while the idea of technological superstructures like Dyson circles is fascinating, much work remains to determine whether the detected signatures point to advanced alien civilizations or more mundane cosmic phenomena.